Hello children, from chapter electricity in the previous video lesson we discussed about Ohm's law. We discussed that Ohm's law is the relationship between potential difference across the conductor and the current flowing through the conductor. And the law states that the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between its ends provided its temperature remains constant. Symbolically, we can write the law as I directly proportional to V or V directly proportional to I, where I is electric current and V is potential difference between the two ends of the conductor. We can also write it like this: V upon I is equal to constant, and this constant is called as R. So V upon I is equal to R. We can write this as V is equal to IR, and this is Ohm's law. This R is a constant, and that constant is called as the resistance for the given metallic wire at a given temperature. Dear children, in today's video lesson, we are going to discuss about what is this resistance of a circuit and on which factors this resistance depends. So basically, resistance is opposition to the flow of electric current. In a normal electrical circuit, we connect resistance, and this resistance, it controls the flow of electric current in a circuit. The resistance, if it is more, then the current flowing through the circuit is less. If the value of resistance is less, then the current flowing through the circuit is more. So we can say that this resistance of a circuit is inversely proportional to the current flowing through the circuit. So we are going to discuss about resistance of a circuit and basically the factors on which the resistance of a circuit depends. So when this resistance is more, when this resistance is less, what is happening during that time in an electrical circuit? To discuss this, we will do a small activity and understand the factors on which resistance of a conductor depends. To understand this, we will consider a simple electrical circuit which has a plug key, a battery, an ammeter, and a simple circuit. So case 1, we will consider that a small piece of nichrome wire is connected between the two ends like this. Let the length of the nichrome wire be L. Now plug in the key. The moment you plug in the key, current will start flowing through the conductor. So what you have to observe, how much is the current, reading of the current in an ammeter. That you will denote by I1. So we have taken a piece of nichrome wire of length L, and during that time the current flowing through an ammeter or in the circuit is showing as I1. Now let's consider case 2. In case 2, we will consider the wire which is double than the previous one. Meaning is that now we are taking the wire whose length is 2L. Alright, because we have taken double of that wire. Now if you check the reading of an ammeter, you will realize that the current flowing through the circuit is half of the previous value now. So it is I1 upon 2. Meaning is that when you double the wire, the current flowing through the circuit becomes half. Alright. Now we will consider case 3. In this case, what are we doing? We are putting a wire of more cross-sectional area. The length of the wire will remain the same, that is L, but we are taking the wire which is more thick. Alright. Now when I say it has more cross-sectional area, look at the figure. This particular part is the cross-sectional area of the wire. Now suppose we'll denote this cross-sectional area as A. Now suppose if you check the ammeter reading, the current flowing through the circuit, you will realize that now the current flowing through the circuit is greater than the previous value. Meaning is that the length of the wire is same, but if you increase the cross-sectional area of the wire, the current flowing through the ammeter is more. It has more value. Alright. Now we'll consider the fourth case. Now in the fourth case, we are replacing the wire with another material. We are taking now copper wire. The length of the copper wire is same, L, and the cross section of the copper wire is also same. We are not increasing the cross section of the wire which we have taken, that is the copper wire. So length is same, area of cross section is same, but the material is different. Alright, so we have taken a different material. Earlier it was nichrome wire, now it is copper wire. Now if you check the current flowing through the circuit from the ammeter, you will observe that this current is greater than all the previous values. We'll denote this current by I3. So I3 is greater than I1, the first current which we have taken. Now these all cases let's study. From the first two cases, when we have taken a small piece of nichrome wire of length L, current flowing through the wire was I1. When we double that nichrome wire, we observe that the current flowing through the wire was half of the previous value. So from this we can say that the current is inversely proportional to the length of the conductor. Alright, and from Ohm's law we have studied that the current is inversely proportional to the resistance of the conductor. Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. So current is inversely proportional to the resistance of the conductor. Now if we combine these two, I inversely proportional to L and I inversely proportional to R, what we get is the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. So in the second case, when we increase the length, the value of the current reduced because there was more resistance. More the length, more is the resistance. Alright. Now from the third observation, from the third case wherein we increased the area of cross section of the wire, there we observed that when you increase the area of cross section, the current in the circuit increases. The current flowing through the conductor increases. So from that we can say that current is directly proportional to area of cross section of the wire, and hence we can say that the resistance of the conductor is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Alright, as you increased area of cross section, current increases, and current increases means what? There is less resistance. So during that time the resistance and area of cross section are inversely proportional to each other. Now based on this, we've got two equations, that R is directly proportional to L and R is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Alright, from these two we can say that the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to length of the conductor, and it is inversely proportional to the area of cross section of the conductor. Alright, and if I take out this proportionality sign, I have to make use of one constant. That constant is denoted by this letter, which is called as rho. So R is equal to rho L upon A. Alright, and this rho is a constant of proportionality, and this is called as resistivity of the material of the conductor. So rho is resistivity of the material of the conductor. Let's now understand the fourth case. In the fourth case, we change the material of the conductor. In place of nichrome wire, we connected the copper wire. And we realized that during this time, the current flowing through the circuit was highest. So from this we can conclude that if we change the material, then the resistivity of the material also changes. Alright, so we can say that the resistivity of the conductor is less than the resistivity of an alloy. It is less than the resistivity of the insulator. Now nichrome is an alloy and the copper is a conductor. So copper has least resistance, nichrome has resistance which is more than copper, and insulators, they have the highest resistance, and therefore through insulators current cannot pass. Alright, so with this, let's now find out what is the SI unit of resistivity. So our formula is R is equal to rho L upon A. We know that the SI unit of resistance is ohm, SI unit of length is meter, and SI unit of area is meter square. Now if you cancel this meter and 1 meter from down and you cross multiply, what you get, the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. So ohm meter is SI unit of resistivity of the material of the conductor. Alright, so in the formula, rho stand for resistivity of the conductor, L is the length of the conductor, and A is the area of cross section of the conductor. So from all the activity which we have discussed, we can make out and we can conclude that the resistance of the conductor depends upon the length of the conductor, the area of cross section of the conductor, and the material of the conductor. When you increase the length, resistance increases. When you increase area of cross section, resistance decreases. And when you change the material, its resistance is different. Alright, so please revise this part from the textbook once again. See the video once again for the revision purpose. See you all in the next video lesson with new topic. Till then, bye and take care.